Look, you already listen every week. You might as well dress like you have great taste too. The Hook and Bridge merch store is officially live. You can find shirts, hoodies, hats, you name it, we've got it over there. It's like wearing your favorite podcast, but socially acceptable. Head on over to our website, check out our merch line, and help support the growth of the show.
Now playing the Hook and Bridge podcast.
I fucking love Kesha. I'm telling you, I'm the worst person to have a podcast. I can barely speak.
Oh my god, I love reading!
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the show. I am your host, Harley, joined by my co-host and little sister, Taylor, and a super special guest. Today, we have the pleasure of sitting down with the one and only Byrd X, also known as Byrd. Byrd, how are you, sir?
Great. How are you doing?
Fantastic, man. So, I really love the social messaging of the songs. And I don't want to dive directly into that, but there are some things that I would like to ask you about a few of your songs. But first, I would love to know where Byrd X comes from. Why do people call you Byrd?
Well, Byrd is my last name, and the band name or performance entity, whatever you want to call it, is Byrd X. And the reason I did that, one, I just thought it looked cool from a logo standpoint. And then I was watching a film on Jean-Michel Baptiste, the artist. And it was about him and Andy Warhol, and they were doing a piece of work together. And like anytime Warhol would paint something, then Baptiste would paint over the top of it. Or Basquiat. Why do I keep saying Baptiste? Basquiat. And Andy would be like, what are you doing? And and he said when he marked over it or put an X, it would draw people's eye to his work, to Andy's work instead of his, because people aren't used to seeing that over a piece of artwork. So I thought, well, that'll create an opportunity for people to ask me about what it means, and then we can talk about that, and I'll give my little story. And it'll annoy people when they try to pronounce it.
So you, full disclosure, you do not image-wise look like the guy to come on here and talk about fine art, let alone Andy Warhol.
What's that guy look like?
Not in a jean jacket, I can tell you that.
That's my chambray.
I love that, man. That's awesome. Yeah. How into art are you? Have you been into like art and like museums and things like that for a while?
Oh yeah, I mean, art my whole life. I graduated with a bachelor's in fine arts, and I drew pictures and comic books and characters from the time I was like 6 or 7 years old, and I've always been messing with stuff. Grandma always had like these styrofoam plates. They used to put like you go to the grocery store and buy your pound of beef.
Yeah.
They'd put it on the styrofoam. She would collect those. And so she would have a closet full of these styrofoam plates, and I would cut them up and make figures and airplanes and, machine guns and all kinds of stuff out of it. So I've always been on the little creative side. And then, music came into the picture in my teenage years. So, so I've always been painting or drawing or writing music, at some, always in some phase of life.
Taylor and I are, I would say artistic is a good way to put it. Yeah, I would say Taylor is more of an artiste than I.
You're a creative.
Yes. We both grew up drawing. Our father is or was a tattoo artist.
Nice.
He's still with us.
Yeah,
not a tattoo artist anymore.
Yeah, he's just retired.
Yeah.
Good.
But I think we both kind of grew up in that world of drawing. I'm more of an animator, I would say. Taylor's more of like a realism artist.
Oh wow.
Yeah, Taylor, correct me if I'm wrong. You love drawing like sceneries and animals and things of that nature. Where if you give me like any sort of a cartoon or comic book, that's I too have written a handful of comic books in my day.
Nice.
However, not as successful as you, sir. Tell me a little bit about your comic book experience.
Well, I mean, I don't know if you call it successful, but I've part of the idea for the album, this particular album. I hadn't really done anything like this in previous albums under, different band names and things. But this one, I decided to have like a comic adaptation to go along with it. And this album, I kind of brought every piece of my artistic creativity, into this one release. So, I tied the comic book into it, videos into the album. So there's not a specific, like storyline from first song to last song, but there is kind of a thematic tone throughout the record. And, I think the comic book more connects it all into a story. It doesn't, it's not like stuck right to the lyrical content. It's kind of its own thing, but it uses a lot of the imagery and scenery from the lyrics of the album. So we're trying to do that. And then I did a video, Ayn Rand's in Hell on Welfare. I made a animated through AI video. Got online and basically taught myself how to do that. And it's not something I really want to do again. I'd probably rather pay somebody next time, but it's kind of like I got started and I just had to see it through. So
as somebody who's involved in the arts and having a bachelor's in art, how do you feel about AI and how it has become a tool creatively?
I don't absolutely hate it. I think it's just in the way that you use it. It's if you're not using it to create the whole piece of art itself. Like sometimes I'll use it to ask questions or research something for me, or what are alternative words. I'm trying to write lyrics and I can't find the right word, and I can use it to help me think of words and images that might not be popping up in my vocabulary. So I think kind of in an administrative way, I can see it as a helpful tool, but if you're saying, okay, create me a song, I want to write a song about my garbage can, right?
Yeah.
Song about my garbage can. Then, that's kind of where I would draw the line, and I can see though, as people who are not creative, how enticing that would be to be able to,
oh, absolutely,
go online and, hey, I've got a song and I can put my name on it, and now I'm a singer songwriter, or now I'm a visual artist.
Do you feel that that the art that is produced in that context belongs to the person who put the input in the system, or does it belong to the company who owns the AI?
Ooh, that's a good question. I would say, like the garbage can. I would say, hey, write me a song about garbage can. The company producing it might have more claim to that, but if you have a sort of a vision of, I want to write this song and here's the chorus and here's the verse and here's the structure I'm looking for, but I want piano and drums and I want a just an acoustic guitar combined on there, and then the AI kind of creates the sound for you, and you complete the song lyrically and you complete how you want the structure of it. And then maybe you take that and go actually have human beings play the guitar, play the drums, play the keys. That's where I can see it, being really the artist's or person's creation versus the AI company.
Right.
But
Yeah,
now if everything, like I said, you come up with a theme and you just tell it to put it all together and then you release it like that. For me, that would be, you're not really putting too much artistic, there's not a lot of artistic input from you.
True. So I also am a singer-songwriter, and I have always classified myself more along the lines of alternative country or like 90s soft rock. You know what I mean? More of like a Matchbox 20 type, or like a Goo Goo Dolls, that kind of lane. But I've always loved pop punk music, and I was going through some heavy darker themes in my writing, and I wanted to write a pop punk album using those lyrics that I came up with, and I didn't know how to. Like, I've never been in that genre. I didn't really know how to start. So I did use ChatGPT to kind of outline like a structure chord wise and like instrumentation on like what would you play in a pop punk song with these words, you know what I mean? Not involving my lyrics, like not adjusting my lyrics, keeping the integrity there, but
right.
As a musician, not having that skill set, it was a tool for me to kind of be able to say, oh, I never would have thought like that chord combination is what separates this from a metal song or whatever else, so
Yeah.
I agree. I think that you can absolutely use these as creative tools, but there has to be some major discretion involved. You can't just
I think it's also for your modern day record industry, it's a cost consideration. You can't, in your case, you couldn't bring in musicians who are more versed in the pop punk world and say, can you, do a demonstration for me of, what you guys might play to this and how you might play to it. You could have it back, in the old days, they might bring in studio musicians and, you could run through the song that way and you'd say, okay, now I kind of get the feel and how I need to arrange this thing. And, maybe you keep what they created or you just use that as a template, and then you and your band or you go and create the final product. But if you can't afford to sit in a studio and hire studio musicians to say, hey, what would this sound like country, or what does this sound like if it was industrial, or what if this was EDM, or
right.
So it's just one of those. I think it's definitely a necessary evil, especially for musicians, because everybody else makes money off of music except the musicians. I'm paying for my music videos to be made. I'm paying for my, photography. I'm paying for the marketing or promotion. So if I can, save, a few bucks by having Chat GPT, create some little, kind of generic demo of what my song might sound in a different genre, then that's something I'd jump on as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Speaking of your music, let's talk a little bit about one song in particular that I'm sure you've been asked a million times, and I feel bad asking,
No.
but MAGA Girl.
Yeah.
Tell me about that song and the messaging behind it. The video is hilarious, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun making that.
So tell me a little bit about like the messaging behind MAGA Girl. Hey everybody, it is the host of the Hook and Bridge podcast, Harley. Today we're doing a very special promotion for a very special guy, Danny Otto. You guys know him, you love him. Co-host for The Dark Side of Music, you guys' new favorite sideshow that we do. He has a great band. They're called Just Happy to Be Here. We had him on the show a couple of years ago, and they have an incredible opportunity that they are able to take advantage of. Fuck. Take two. Hey, everybody. It's your host, Harley from the Hook and Bridge podcast. Warped Tour is back, and this band has to be on that stage. Just Happy to Be Here is bringing chaos, energy, and everything Warped Tour was built on. And leading it all is Danny Otto from Dark Side of the Music. You guys know him. You love him. That golden retriever energy. Come on. So what we really need you to do is head over to the link for Just Happy to Be Here. They have the opportunity to play Warped Tour, but we need you guys to go and vote them in. So if you can click that link, go ahead, vote them in. I think you can vote one time every day until the voting ends. So please head over, click that link. Let's get Just Happy to Be Here at Warped Tour this year. Thanks again for all the support.
Well, you know, it came about a while back when I think it was more in the first Trump administration where people were starting to face the fact that they had like family members that suddenly had a different view of them, that you never knew about them. You know, you didn't know your grandparents felt this way, or your crazy uncle, or and you know, sometimes you're like, okay, well, you know, I just got to get through Thanksgiving, and they've all went off the deep end. And so I thought, you know, how tough that is to deal with for a family. And then, you know, at some point I went, I wonder what that'd be like if you were, you know, married to somebody or dating somebody that you really didn't know their, you know, background that well, or their, you know, particular political beliefs. And, you know, if all of a sudden that became an issue, you know, what would your reaction be to that? How would you deal with it? You know, just some of the ways that people, you know, can suddenly change. We can be so you know, enamored by them, or you know, in love with them, and then, you know, out of nowhere this other person almost emerges, and you're like, oh God, now what do I do? So that was kind of the idea behind MAGA Girl. You know, it eventually just became the guy, you know, in a early part of a relationship with a new girlfriend, and suddenly her political views become well known, which you didn't know before. And you know, it's the guy trying to work his way through that, and then realizing, you know, I got to get her out of my life.
Right. The imagery is fantastic. If you're listening, check out that music video, because like
Thanks.
it starts off with you as a news anchor, and then you flash to these scenes of the quote unquote girlfriend in a quote unquote bright red hat screaming at the world.
Yeah.
And then it snaps over to these pictures of her like in a sundress and you know, hanging out with him, and then like all of these like, oh, we can have these fun moments, but behind the fun moment scenes there's this this underlying darkness about this person that they're just like angry at the general public for no reason. So like it's such perfect imagery for dealing with that situation. It was fantastically written, man. I really love that one.
Thank you. Yeah, the MAGA girl, a friend of ours, Jenny, she embodied that so well in the video, and she's a totally opposite than the person who is in the video as the MAGA girl. But man, she just dove into it headlong, and really kind of embodied the character more than I'd even imagined, and it really helped to give some energy and fun to the video. And a lot of my songs that deal with some of the darker topics, a lot of times I'll try to do it in a satirical way, or a way that you can kind of poke fun at it, versus screaming I hate this and F this and that. And I like to try to kind of be not submersive. What's the word? I'm not submersive, not subliminal. But anyway, I like to fly under the radar with kind of the message that I'm really talking about, and and have people have to really kind of work and realize, oh, he's really, even though the sound of it's real kind of upbeat, he's really talking about this social issue. Or
so on a bit of a more darker, serious note, your song, I want to get this right here, Anthems for the End Times. So that song, far more darker in tone, and sonically too. You have a completely different sound on that song. I compared it when I was listening to it. I compared it to Bruce Springsteen mixed with the Killers. You have this very like Bruce Springsteen, like storyteller driven kind of tonality and cadence to the lyrics, but vocally you give, and unfortunately I cannot remember his name at the moment, but you give like this tonality very similar to the lead singer of the Killers, specifically not the mainstream Killer songs, not your Mr. Brightside or Somebody Told Me, not those songs, but the other songs, more along the lines of like the I'm not a soul, or something, I got a soul. Yeah, I'm not a soldier.
Yeah,
that song. So
I got
he has
soul,
like
but
that,
I'm not a soldier. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. He has this like almost like falsetto-y kind of sound to his vocals in that song.
Right.
And I think you have a lot of embodied a lot of that in this song in particular. But talk about a quite drastic, darker theme to kind of go over. Tell me a little bit about the messaging behind that song.
Well, I mean, that's the title song of the album, and that was one of the first songs that I kind of started out with, where I was in a period of writing, like a Picasso had a blue period, and you can, as a songwriter, get into a period of writing where you're not writing the same song over and over, but there's something either thematically or sonically or lyrically that kind of ties a particular batch of songs together. And that was kind of the start of the other songs. And it was more my thoughts on how in past eras of music, people, different artists stood up to oppose what was going on, when it came to culture and the counterculture, or war, or corruption, social justice issues, civil rights issues. And you think of the 60s and the folk movement, and then I grew up mostly seeing what was going on in the 80s with the Live Aid movement, and you had Do they know it's Christmas? And you had all the USA for Africa, artists and songs. And then you had also Amnesty International concerts, and you had, U2. It was, that was kind of their era. So social justice was in protest music. And you also, had the Clash and uh, other bands like that in the punk movement that seemed to be there pushing back on what was going on in society. And it just, from a musician standpoint, when the Trump administration, the first one, started, it seemed like it was a ghost town. Like I was waiting for all the artists to stand up and come out with their albums. And I figured I'd probably see Bob Dylan on a stage somewhere, and it was like crickets. And so that's kind of what, that first song was. My feelings, the darkness of the lyrics was how I was feeling about things, and the lack of any sort of artistry that was used in the past to kind of address those things. And so like there was lines, no saviors standing in line was, kind of my way of saying, I don't see my heroes standing up, musically. And it's all on the line, meaning, there was, for a while there, everybody kept going, yeah, it's bad, but surely they won't do this. And, oh yeah, that's
Right.
bad, but surely it won't get any worse. And, oh, that, he's just kidding about that. He'd never do that. And, oh, he did that, but he, it'll end soon. And so that's where it kind of kicked off. And then, in other songs, like I said, I addressed it more in a satirical way or humorous way, or kind of subversive way. So there's different ways I've addressed those issues on different songs, and tried to use different voices as far as the instrumentation and how I sang the song. It was really just kind of, in the studio we had the bassist, the kind of skeletons, and then we just kind of decided what we wanted to do, and if we heard a sound in the moment we liked, we expanded upon that. And so it's really trying to fit the tone and the mood of what the song was calling for, versus going in with something that was already set in stone, and going in, hit it, record it, and we're done.
Right. So you are the first artist that we've had on that honestly has a very center focus to being a social justice person. And I don't know what that says about our show, but when I read the kind of biography that they gave me, I was like, I have been at a point in time in my life recently where I find myself needing more of that in life,
Right.
and feeling a bit of a fear of discussing or talking about it. Not on any side in particular, in both cases, worrying about what I should and shouldn't say, especially with my platform here, and worrying about what someone may find offensive, or kind of tailoring my language to come off as non-combative. However, at this present time, the line is getting so blurry, and things keep happening that I feel very, very strongly about, and I don't get to kind of speak out about it.
Right.
Number one, because of my day-to-day job, but also here we try to find that balance of, this is supposed to be an escape for people from that day-to-day. And honestly, I took this interview so serious because of the messaging that you have in your music, and your outlook on everything. And I really want you to know how appreciative that we are of you and your music and
Thank you.
people like you that are actually standing up for the injustices going on right now, because a lot of us want to have a voice, but we can't. So we do truly rely on people like you to have those voices.
Well, thank you very much. I'm not crying. You're crying.
Crying in the club, guys.
Yeah, I wouldn't, I just do what I know to do, and that's, with music. And, I'm not going out and going to homeless camps and, saving homeless people or, I'm not in a picket line or anything like that. I just try to think of, what is my area that I can make an impact in, and I try to use that area to, do what I can. So it's like when I'm thinking about a song, I'm not saying to people, you have to go out and be in, front of the march and have your sign and scream and go to jail and, and all of those things. I think we can all do something with what we have, as an individual person with our own talents or own little piece of society we're in, if it's just going and talking to some retirees at a nursing home or something of that nature, those are the things that on a day-to-day basis can, I think, really change things. I think it's funny with the things that have gone on in the world. My mom at one point in time, I can't remember exactly what was going on in the world, but she basically said to me, well, if you remember, like in the 60s, we had people bombing buildings in protest and, and we had assassination attempts all the time. And I was kind of like, yeah, I guess, this was about 5 years ago. And I was like, well, we haven't really got to that point yet. So, so she's right. It's, things aren't quite as crazy as we might feel like it is, or we're not quite to the edge we think we're at now. Now, this is 5 years later.
Right.
I feel like the hour hand is, closer to midnight there, but I still feel like, we as people and as a country have, gone through worse times. It's just something, it's a never from like within. It's always been, we've had challenges from outside forces and, and things like the Great Depression but we've never quite had the issues coming from within our own, with our own government and everything. So I just think if everybody has a piece that they can do, it's like, you don't have to, like I said, you don't have to be donating thousands of dollars. You don't have to be in charge of, a union or something, but, everybody has a little piece that they can do. And hopefully together, all of that can make a better culture for us and a better, society. But I did think, sorry to rattle on, but
oh no, you're good.
There was a time I always thought to myself, how could the German people allow Nazism? How could this happen? The whole society.
I've been saying it.
Yeah. I was like, there's just no way it could happen ever again. There was just those people. And it's like, oh shit, I see. Oops, sorry.
Oh no, you're good.
I see how it's happened now. So, that's the scary part, I think.
Right. Is there an artist that if you had a chance to collaborate with, would be like your top tier, this is who I would want to work with? We asked this question based off of your music though. So like not somebody that you're necessarily a fan with, but somebody that you feel fits your sound and that could be a realistic collaboration that you'd say, yeah, this would work nicely with what I do.
Well, yeah, that's I have some like immediate people that I've always thought of, like, hey, I want to work with that person, but they're so on the nose that I think probably to answer your question in this instance, it would be somebody like a Paul Westerberg of the Replacements.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
His, that their band and his type of writing, they kind of started out as like, pop thrash and worked their way all the way to becoming, very songwriting type of music, in their later days. And so they covered a lot of everything. So it'd be fun to do something with him, because I think you just wouldn't know what you would get,
Yeah. I love that answer, actually.
Yeah.
I haven't heard the name The Replacements in probably 10 years.
Oh man. Well, I'm a bit older than some people. So
I love that, man. That's crazy.
They were one of my bigger influences, because they kind of had like the power of like a band like the Clash, but they talked more about, personal issues and everyday issues, from like teenager stuff to broken hearts and then driving your car too fast through a stop sign, and
talk about an underrated band too. The Replacements did not get nearly enough credit for that scene.
Yeah, well, they did. They kind of set themselves up for destruction in a way too. They were like normal guys, and the craziness of what used to be pop stardom or rock stardom, they didn't want to go that far and become those type of people, and they kind of would shoot themselves in the foot every time some big opportunity would come around. And
absolutely,
but that's kind of the charm of them too. If they would have been like the biggest band in the world, then you wouldn't have loved them as much. They kind of never really, what they used to call selling out, but nowadays, who knows what that is?
Now,
I'll write whatever type of song you want for $10 nowadays. So.
Now the Replacements, that's the 80s, right?
Yeah,
like
they
70s,
made it.
80s?
They made it into the early 90s, and since then, like with the last probably 10 years now, they've had a constant stream of like reissues, boxed issue albums, and so that a lot of younger people have kind of rediscovered them.
Well, they had that movie that came out back in like the mid 2000s. It was like 2000, like between 2009 and like 13. They had that movie. It wasn't called The Replacements, but it was a
Trouble
movie,
Boys,
like something like that. It was like loosely based on the band, because it was like I watched the movie and I was like, this sounds a lot like a story that I've heard before, and then it turned out that it was like loosely based on The Replacements, and I think like U2. It was like a mixture of those two bands is where the inspiration came from, but it wasn't necessarily a story about them. It was just kind of like a reference, point. So
I think I've seen that film.
I'm gonna have to figure out what movie it was. Yeah. But I want to ask one more question about a song. So the song the White Noise song.
White Noise, yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that song. This one is, if you ask me, the kind of secret sleeper on the album.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's one of those kind of under the radar songs where it's just really a laundry list of the complaints of your kind of stereotypical old white guy, or Karen type of complaints with what's wrong with the world and society these days, and all while describing kind of them living in this kind of comfortable, luxurious luxurious settings while, they complain about how everybody else is running things. And, so it's really just a laundry list of those type of complaints, and I kind of mentioned about, how they'll fill your favorite sports teams, that's okay. But, in other areas of society, there are dregs and bums, and, so it's just kind of that seesaw of, here's what it's kind of wanting, it's kind of like wanting people to be deported, but still wanting them to, do your lawn and go get your groceries, and, keep making Mexican food at my favorite restaurant.
The other thing too with that song is the guitar work on that song. I really love the guitar work that you did on that one. Clearly you play guitar. I can see, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 behind you there. 3, 5 behind you there.
Well, 5 behind me, and then I've got
2 more on the
about 30 next to me.
Tell me a little bit about like the melodic inspiration on that one.
Well, the album was produced by Lydia Lovelace, and she's a pretty big musician in the what used to be alt country, or it's kind of morphed into Americana, rootsy rock, cowpunk, whatever you want to call it. But I happened to get the opportunity to work with her, and so she produced this album. And I live in Indianapolis, and she lived in Columbus, Ohio, and the studio was in Columbus, Ohio. And so we ended up using a lot of folks from her band, which she has an album called Somewhere Else. And the first time I saw her was a live show opening up for a band called the Old 97s. And I had never heard of her before. And so just the sonic landscape that her band made, it reminded me of like a more, probably why I really was drawn to it, but it was like a more, at that point, kind of countrified replacement sound. It was like a kind of a, heavily distorted country sound, but it was kind of loose and jangly, and there's some sloppiness to it, and that's kind of what
like a Georgia Satellites.
Yeah, not not exactly, but yeah, you're in the ballpark. But so I got to work with her, and it just made more sense to use her band members because it was a 2.5-hour drive, so we would do like 2 days in a row, and I'd go back home. But she's got a guitar player called Todd May, and he just has this way of making he creates more moods, than concerned with making guitar runs or licks or those type of things. And so it let me kind of just do kind of the thrashy rhythmic parts, and then he would come on top of that and really do his thing to create the mood on top of that. And we did a lot of songs like that, where I would come in with kind of the rhythmic bones of it, and then he would be able to kind of manipulate his style around what I had there. And he's just kind of a one of a kind. I haven't seen a lot of guitar players that have this. It's almost an art of being able to play to whatever that song asks for, versus I'm a rock guitar player, or I'm a country guitar player, or that type of thing. He just kind of, there's no real category, I guess, for his type of playing.
How did you go about creating the almost psychedelic spacey sound to the rhythm of the music, to the rhythm guitar? Because it's heavy chorus for sure. some phaser in there, and just kind of gives like this almost Pink Floyd style kind of spaciness. How did you go about creating that rhythmically?
Well, I wanted the songs to be more have a bigger ambience to them than I've really ever tried before. Most of the stuff that I had done up to that point was, firmly established in kind of rock and roll, 3-4 chord, rock songs and distortion and, a solo somewhere. And so it's very kind of, format, a formatted type of thing. This album, but I just kind of wanted to go into the studio and whatever was the feel that day, or some songs we would see a pedal on the floor and what does this do? And, and if I put this pedal with this pedal and I turn this knob all the way backwards, what does that do? And we kind of tried that, and we layered a lot of guitars. Sometimes I think we had probably 4 guitars, 3 guitars, and 3 or 4 guitars in most of the songs. And then we wanted to create room. What I wanted to hear was, when it came to the speakers, I wanted to try to make the listener feel like they were in the room, like there was a back wall and a front wall and side walls, and you could hear kind of the music moving around or bouncing off of things. And so we just used pedals and placement of mics and amps and layered guitar and, like you said, chorus and delay, and just kind of tried things on the moment until we got something we felt like expressed what the lyrical content was and what the song needed.
Yeah, I love that, man. Byrd, I just want to thank you again so much for such an incredible interview, and thank you for everything that you do in the music industry. Please, everyone, check out XbirdX everywhere you possibly can. Streaming on Spotify, I believe Apple Music as well.
Yep.
Pretty much all of your music platforms these days. There's so many to even keep track of. It's everywhere.
It's a laundry list.
YouTube especially. Check out the videos, dude. That is my biggest takeaway. Check out the music videos because they're killers. Like Epic. I love a good music video, especially one that has humor. It's very important. Are you?
Go ahead.
Are you working on anything now?
Well, we're doing a few more videos on the album, because it's just I've always been the person that back in the day when you had an MTV, or when videos had importance to them, I would always be like, my favorite band, they would do 3 videos off the album.
Yeah.
And I was like, what about this song? And what about this song would make a great video? Well, I don't understand why they don't do a video for every song. And so that's kind of what I've been doing. I've been just, there's really no rules anymore about how stuff's put out. And, I think like I said before, I just wanted to combine the different expressions of art, that I like, the comic books, the videos, the music, and I'm sure I'll hit a point where I'm like, okay, I've ran out of ideas on this particular project, and it's time to move forward. I have a kind of the follow-up album, for the most part, is written, and the guy named John Agnello, who mixed the Anthems for the End Times, the current album, he's going to record and produce the next album, and he has worked with bands like Dinosaur Jr., The Hold Steady. He's got a list of clients all the way back, to the 80s, and that was one of the things we kind of laughed at. Is I did on the album, there's a cover of "Money Changes Everything,"
Yes.
which was a Cyndi Lauper song. And I went down and met John when he was mixing the album, and he was like, "Yeah, I love this song." And it's like, well, I don't know if anybody really remembers it anymore because it was on her first, album, the whole "Girls Just Want to Have Fun" album or whatever. And he said, "Yeah, I worked on that album with her."
That's crazy.
So it was kind of like this weird full circle. And he said, "Yeah, I was, new into the business, but I was on the team that worked on that album and recorded it." And so it was kind of like, it's a small world after all.
Yeah, meant to be, man.
Yeah. So he's gonna do the next album, and like I said, I kind of got demos done for it, but I don't want to kind of give up on anthems while there's still creative output. The songs are done, but I still got the comics, and I still got more videos and other ways to kind of keep expressing the message of the songs on the album.
Again, everybody check out Byrd X. Absolutely incredible. Are you ready to jump into some trivia?
Let's do it.
This is
drink more coffee.
Yeah, this is the time everybody is always waiting for. This is what separates us from every other show you'll ever do. So it is going to be you versus Taylor.
Oh God.
We have 20 questions lined up here, and we'll see who can nail these questions. This is going to be 80s and 90s trivia.
Oh well,
Byrd, I just want you to know
chance.
You have a chance. I know nothing about music ever.
Oh, liar!
You would think that is right.
You would think
it's a lie. You would think.
You would think after almost 5 years of being a music podcast and doing trivia probably 100 times, you would think.
Zero knowledge in this brain.
Hey, Taylor, name 3 Metallica songs.
All right. I could do it. Sad but true.
All right.
Classic. Enter Sandman.
Okay.
Classic. And Master of Puppets.
Okay. All right. I mean, you went 2 extremely mainstream songs and one
you didn't specify.
Slightly mainstream.
You didn't specify.
Okay.
I listened to Godsmack today.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, Byrd, we're going to start with you. Question 1. What was the best-selling album of the 1980s?
Of the 80s? Oh, shoot.
Do we have options?
Yeah, well...
No options this time.
Tell me if I at least have the 2 albums that I'm thinking of. One, Thriller, or the Eagles' Greatest Hits.
You nailed it with the first one. It is Thriller.
Okay. Yeah.
Michael Jackson's Thriller, best-selling album of the 1980s.
Yeah.
Also, Greatest Hits 1, the Eagles' Greatest Hits 1 might be my favorite album of all time.
Awesome. Yeah. It's
1 and 2 are really up there for me.
I grew up, my dad had a big crush on the Eagles, so
what is that song? New Kid in
Our
Town.
dad too.
New Kid in Town, yeah.
New Kid in Town is fantastic, but that's not the one that I'm thinking of. Shoot. Dang it. It'll come to me eventually. I'll get back to it. But there's one song on the second one that I think is super underrated, and I don't think anyone that I know of, actually, now that I'm saying this thought out loud, I don't want to say the name of the song, so I'm going to keep it to myself. But there's a song on that album that I can't find anyone has done a cover of, and I think I might do a cover of it in the future.
That's an odd, gatekeep.
The Last Resort?
No,
okay.
It is not that song.
Okay.
I think Seven Bridges Road is on that album too, right? Seven Bridges Road.
You're probably right.
Byrd, you should go through and you should do a cover of every song on
and
there.
just do every song.
Yeah.
Every one of them.
Birds, Eagles, greatest hits.
Greatest hits. I think you should.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Can you
Taylor,
imagine? Can you imagine what you would have to pay to get the?
So much. But you think about it, then you would stop Harley from doing it.
There you go.
that is true. That is
And that's even
true.
enough.
I would no. You guys have been so kind to me. I couldn't crush his dreams like that.
Aw,
It'll be all
It-
right. He'll
It's
find
all
a new one.
yours.
Taylor, this question
Yeah.
is for you.
Oh,
Which
no.
artist was known as the King of Pop?
The king of pop.
Yes.
hmm
The only king I know is Elvis.
Yes, Byrd.
Michael Jackson.
It's Michael Jackson, Taylor.
Oh, I didn't know. I only know like 3 Michael Jackson songs.
Really?
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Which one?
Thriller, obviously.
Yeah.
Well, I guess maybe it's not Michael Jackson 5. Would that count?
I mean, it
Sure.
it counts.
Or like
he was
Billie Jean.
there.
Okay,
What?
so I know 2 Michael Jackson songs. Is it Billie Jean?
Yeah.
Is that the
yeah.
name
I
of
mean,
that one?
that's one
Yeah.
of them.
Yeah, and then
There's
Thriller.
so many. There's so many.
Oh,
Thriller.
Man in the Mirror. I lied. I do know 3.
Oh yeah. There you go.
Okay.
And that's
I'm
it.
bad. I'm bad is a great one.
Bad. Yeah.
Never heard.
PYT.
Oh yeah.
Couldn't tell you.
Honestly, the entire Thriller album is pretty
Oh, yeah.
solid front to back.
Right. There's probably like 7 radio hits on there. Or...
Yeah. Byrd, this one is for you. What band released the album Nevermind in 1991?
Come on.
We're in the easy section.
Nirvana.
It is, in fact, Nirvana,
Yeah.
Taylor's favorite
Cool.
band.
Fun fact,
Um,
Byrd. I don't
fun
like
fact.
Nirvana.
You don't?
I don't.
She does not. She does
Oh.
not. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, she's the worst person to be on the
Do you
show.
want to hear my story of why?
Tell me.
There's a reason.
Tell
So
me.
when Harley was learning how to play guitar, he could only play "Smells Like Teen Spirit," and that's the only thing that I heard for months,
You and my wife need
and
to
it
talk.
ruined it.
She has that same story. And that same song too.
Perfect. So she gets it.
It made
Yeah.
her hate the entire band.
It
Yeah.
made me hate the band. Like,
Dun, 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 dun.
there are a handful of songs by them that I like, where I'm like, this is a bop. I could listen to these, but
Yeah.
outside of that,
Hey, fun fact: they were influenced not only by the Pixies but the Replacements too.
Yes, the replacements. Yeah.
because
Replacements
are
Nevermind
everywhere.
is an actual Replacement song.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Taylor, this one is
Yeah.
for you. Which
Got it.
Madonna song begins with the line "Life is a mystery"?
Nirvana song?
No, Madonna. Madonna.
Madonna, oh.
I have the melody in my head. It's the one where it's like, life is a mystery. That one? Right?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Byrd,
like a prayer.
like a prayer.
Oh, I think that's the only Madonna song I know. No, that's a lie.
No, you definitely know. Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to name them, but if they came on, I would know them.
Byrd, this one is for you, sir. What was the name of the first CD ever released in the United States?
Oh, holy Christ! The first CD. Wow,
This is a fun fact everyone should know. The first
it's like
CD.
something I remember hearing that, but
I actually did not know this.
I don't know. Neil Young popped in my head, but
You're surprisingly super close.
what was it?
It's Billy Joel.
Billy Joel?
Really?
52nd Street
Really?
by Billy Joel, the first
Huh.
CD to be released in the United States.
Wow!
What a guy.
Wow! And I just saw not that long ago that bio thing he had on Netflix too.
Mm.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Is it good?
Yeah. Oh, I thought it was great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Taylor, this one is for you.
Oh gosh.
Which 80s band had a hit with the song Take On Me?
Take on
Again, this is the
me,
easy
take
section.
on me,
Thank you for staying in the
take
80s.
on
I can cheat.
me. Can you? I literally see the music video in my head.
Ah,
That's wild. Can you give me the first letter?
A.
A.
Ah.
Aha.
Aha. Aha.
Yes.
Yes. See, Byrd, I told you. I am
Hey.
so good at so many other things. So many things.
She can draw one hell of a bird, man, but
I can draw a fantastic cardinal.
You know what you need while you're doing the podcast? She should be in the background drawing something while the podcast is going on.
That's the smartest idea I've ever heard in my
Yeah.
My
life.
ADHD would love that.
Yeah,
Dude, set up a canvas and paint a picture during the shows.
that's what we had.
Like for weddings?
I've stolen the idea because there's a local artist that he does that while a band is playing. He'll be on the side of the stage painting.
Dude,
Yeah,
Taylor.
I think I should, but it
That's
won't be the
have to.
artist. Like I'm gonna turn around and it's just gonna be
just
like
a picture.
beach
Just
scene.
like
in general.
literally just a picture.
you could
That
draw
is
the
fun.
guest. You could
So
Yeah,
I
draw.
can't draw
could.
people.
Yeah,
Fun fact. I can't draw people.
No, you draw a stick figure of them.
yeah.
Perfect.
That
I'll
on
do
your
a
very nice-
beautiful
Caricature.
scene. Yes. Beautiful scene and then just a stick figure.
Yeah.
Yes, a very
You could
beautiful
draw like this beautiful forest, and then you'll have this little round blob and say bird.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Bird. If we ever make any money on this show, that idea, you get 50% on that one, bud.
Hey.
75.
Just have me back. That's all.
Oh, perfect.
Okay. It was
Bird's turn.
Bird's turn.
Bird's turn.
What hip hop group released the album Straight Outta Compton?
Oh, NWA.
That is correct. NWA.
Yeah.
Taylor.
I would like the record to show that I did actually know that one.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah.
Let's see if you know this one.
Oh gosh.
If you don't, I kid you not, I think I'm
Gosh.
just gonna give it to Byrd.
That's fine. Gosh. Okay.
Who sang "Girls Just Want to Have Fun"?
Cindy, we just said her name.
Yeah.
I literally lost it. It starts with an L.
Yeah.
Right? Cindy Laughlin.
Oh, you had
Laughlin?
you had a 50-50 shot there, and you
Laughter?
were so close.
Laugher?
Loplin.
Loplin. I was close.
Lopper.
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 Cindy
Cindy
Lauper.
Lauper. We're both goofy goobers. You have it in front of you. I was close. I love that song.
That was a listening test, is what that was, Taylor.
I listened. 50%. Well, 75. I got the law.
All right, Bird, this one is for you, sir.
Okay.
Which band performed Sweet Child of Mine?
That's it.
That's it.
Guns N' Roses.
Again, we are in the easy
Yeah.
section.
You need to move up to like 2005 and let Taylor.
Let's do 2013.
There you go.
Let's just do a
You'll
whole
get it all.
Jason Derulo catalog.
There you go.
Jason Derulo. Also, I would like the record to show I was born in 2001, guys.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
After the towers fell.
after, yes.
After.
Yes.
All right.
PT and AT. Before towers, after towers.
After.
Yes.
After towers.
This one is for you, Taylor. What 90s boy band featured Justin Timberlake?
I have two chances.
You do. You got a
And
50-50 shot here.
And I know it is not the Backstreet Boys. So that means it could only be the other boy band that took on the 90s, which is in fact NSYNC.
There we go.
There it is.
What was the first one you said?
Backstreet
Boys.
Backstreet Boys. Okay. Well, the New Kids on the Block came before them. So
Yes. And then there was also like
That's popped in
98
my head for a second.
degrees. There was Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch
Yeah.
were around.
yeah.
The two boy bands I know.
All right, so here we go. We're moving into the hard round.
Okay.
These aren't that hard either.
That's
All right.
You mean we
Byrd,
weren't in the hard round?
this
no.
one's for you. Which artist released the album Purple Rain?
Prince and the Revolution.
Yes, the
I
legend.
knew that one too.
The legend Prince. Fun fact, we just did an episode of Dark Side of the Music where we discussed the PMRC case against music, the case where it covered.
I remember.
Yeah, the explicit. Oh yeah.
I remember it.
Well, one of the artists that they cite in that case is Prince. That was one of the ones that forced the explicit label.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Frank Zappa testified.
Yep.
Dee Schneider of Twisted Sister testified.
Mm-hmm. And then of all people, so it was Frank Zappa, Dee Snider, and then the Country Roads guy.
No.
Country Road.
Yeah.
Yes.
John Denver.
John Denver.
Yeah, there we go.
I saw that and I was like, John Denver.
John Denver.
Country Roads is a hard listen.
Taylor, this one's for you. What was the original name of the band Pearl Jam?
I love Pearl Jam. I do. I think they're a great band. I think they're fantastic. I don't know. I'm going to pass it on to Byrd. He's my partner in crime.
Oh,
we're a team.
God.
This actually just came out a few years ago.
Yeah, I've got it wrong, but yeah, I don't know. I want to say Green River or Mother Love Bone, but that's real bands. Shoot, yeah, I don't remember Pearl Jam's.
Mookie Blaylock.
I'm sorry. What?
And all of the
Baseball
fans,
player.
and all of the fans claim that is not true.
They would know.
Yeah, I know.
Pearl Jam said it, but all of the fans say that they're messing with us, and that's not true.
Have you seen the pictures, like the memes where Uno comes out and they're like, guys, this actually isn't how you play the game. Like, you can't be stacking, and people comment and they're like, what do you know? What do you know? That's not how you play the game. We know
It completely changed the dynamic in my household between me and my wife. Yes, I am aware.
You stack. Are you an Uno stacker?
No, I get my ass handed to me in Uno. So as soon as I found out, I was like, hey.
No,
like
we are an Uno.
You separate your own colors and put them in stacks. Is that what you're saying?
No.
So you know when you're playing Uno and you have like a draw 4 or like a draw 2 or anything?
Right.
So if you draw and you put that down, how the next person's able to draw 2, well, if they have a draw 2, they can put that on top, and then the next person has to draw 4, and it can keep going until no one has a draw 2 anymore.
Oh, I've never heard of that.
Right.
That's how we play.
Wow.
Uno came out and said, hey, you're playing our game wrong. It doesn't say that
wrong.
in the directions.
Which is wrong. And then they came out with Uno No Mercy, where you can do that.
Yeah.
And it gets crazy. Anywho, we're an Uno stacking family. That's my point.
All right.
Gotcha.
We got 2 more here.
All right.
2 more.
It was
It's Bird's
turn.
Oh.
Who had the hit with Like a Virgin?
Madge. Madonna.
Yes, it is Madonna. And
I feel
Taylor,
like I should have went first.
Taylor, you get the last question here.
Oh, no.
You're good. You're gonna nail this.
All right.
What 90s girl group sang the song Waterfalls?
TLC.
TLC. Look at that.
Those are my girls.
I would say that it was neck and neck, but that would be a complete lie and a disgrace.
Complete lie.
Byrd.
Right to Byrd.
Byrd,
Didn't even have to keep score.
Win the trivia
What's
championship.
the TLC stand for?
Ooh.
Tender love and care.
No.
I don't know. That's my TLC. What's it stand for?
Well, the L is left eye, the C is chili,
And then
the T is I can't remember it's not Tina. It's
No, it's like Tove or something like that.
Tony or Tanya.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the
yeah.
girl's name.
Yeah, it's all of the members of the band's names.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yep.
I can't. Why can't I remember her name now?
I also can't remember
But
her
it's
name.
Toba?
T, left eye. And
Is it Tasha?
no, that doesn't sound right.
Trisha?
No, that doesn't sound right.
I also would like the record to show that Byrd is the best trivia player we've had on here.
Well, you have it
By
on
far.
easy.
Tion Watkins.
Okay.
Tion.
Yeah.
That's a sick name.
Yeah, Left Eye, Tion, and Crystal.
It's Chili.
Or yeah, her name in the band is Chili. But her actual name is Crystal.
Crystal. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Fun little fact there.
Fun fact. I love
All
that.
right.
If
well,
you keep in the 80s or mid 90s, I can compete. If you get to about if you get past the grunge era, then I'm a little dicey.
So next time we have Byrd on, we'll do 2010s and on.
just everything Ed Sheeran. Honestly,
Ed Sheeran, Jason Derulo, Justin Bieber.
If you answer Ed Sheeran, 50% of the time you'll be right.
You're gonna be right.
Then you can pile on me on that one.
Perfect.
Well, Byrd, thank you again so much for being on the show, man. I really appreciate it.
Thank you guys so much for having me. It's been a fun experience and a great talk.
Awesome. Thanks, man.
Aw, thanks.
Yeah, thank you guys.
All right. Have yourself a wonderful day, sir.
You too.
What a guy. Okay. Whoa. Whoa. That's crazy. It froze. You were like, that's wild.
I gotta make it go away. Where's my little
Byrd was
thing?
so much fun.
Where's my little thing?
I meant to tell Byrd this and I forgot.
Okay. There
Perfect. He reminds me of Jack Black in the best way.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. I don't know how
you
you could be reminded of Jack Black in a bad way.
Agreed. All right, buddy. Well,
okay.
Unfortunately, with all of the technical difficulties, we don't have a ton of time to.
We don't. I was gonna do my outro.
Yeah. Go for it.
All right, everybody. If you liked today's video, go ahead and give it a big thumbs up, subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell notification so you can be notified every time we post a new video.
And as always, please go over to our Instagram, give that bad boy a follow. Check out our Patreon. We're having a lot of fun over there, guys. There's a free option, so feel free to sign up and just hang out with us and hang out in the chat. Chris and Taylor eventually will be over there.
At some point. Thanks for reminding
I'm
me.
over there and hanging out with everybody.
Can you resend me that link?
Yeah, I could do that for you. But I'm putting up like a lot of video game content over there, and we're asking about guests that we have on the show. You get your chance to ask a question to our guests that we have on the show, and just a whole bunch of other fun stuff. So check it out. All right. It has been real, everybody, and peace. Hey, everybody. The Hook and Bridge podcast isn't just a show. We're a community, and our Patreon is where the real fans hang out and build that community. Over there, you can become part of the chat, hang out and talk to amazing musicians and other people involved in the industry. On top of that, we also have exclusive content, a lot of video game stuff over there, and some stuff that maybe we didn't want to say on the actual show. There's additional bonus episodes, extended interviews, and a chance to support what we're building here. So head on over, become a member, and join us and help us build this music community.